Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Marika from Me and Mini-Me Crafting and thank you for taking the time to visit my YouTube channel. I'm participating on Altenew's second anniversary blog hop today with this card that I made for this tutorial. I put the links to the blog hop in the description for you to find your way to the hop. Hopefully you'll have fun and you'll get some inspiration to craft, paint or color or whatever you love to do on your spare time. We also have tons of prizes to win, so please check out our 3-day long celebration to have a chance to win prizes. But let's go into today's tutorial. I made this card here using one of my all-time favorites of Altenew stamps called Magnolias for her. This stamp was actually my first Altenew stamp that I bought about 2 years ago and I still love to use it. I started out by stamping the magnolia flower to a piece of white smooth cardstock with light pink ink. I used Altenew Frosty Pink ink for stamping, but any light ink will do. I'm going to color this flower using no-line coloring technique with Copic markers and later adding details with colored pencils. I added my base layer with Copic markers. I loosely sketched in the darkest areas with the lightest marker. Sounds odd, but this way I can better see where the shadows are, and if I like what I've done, I can always go darker by adding darker shades over the lighter areas. If you start with your darkest shade first, it may be difficult to make it more lighter later if you need to. I used RV00 marker to sketch in the shadow area first, and now I'm adding darker shadows with my mid-tone and darkest tone of Copic markers and start to add more value to my shadows. I use RV91 and RV93 today to create this flower. These markers are such a beautiful cool pink color and I'm adding them lightly to the areas that I believe that has the most of the shadows. I go over the areas with my pencils later, so at this point I'm not so worried about getting the smoothest blending. Now the Copic base layer is done and now it's time to start to add details with pencils. I use 2 different shades of magenta and I try to match the colors to my Copics. By adding the details with your pencils over your Copic work, you can sharpen your details, add more value, which means you can make your darker areas to be darker, and by adding value, you can get more dimension to your work. I also try to make some lines really sharp to get enough contrast. For instance, in the areas that the petal bends, as in here, if you put really sharp detail right next to the light petal edge, it looks like that the shadow is further away and that gives you the illusion of depth. After I was finished with the coloring, I took my matching dye for the flower and ran it through my die cutting machine. I used low-tack tape to keep the dye in place. Then I used layered stamping to stamp my branches. I took the stamp from Winter Cardinal set and stamped the first layer with Altenew Morning Frost ink. For the second layer I used the same branch, but I only inked the lower part of the stamp with Evening Grey ink. I kinda swiped the ink pad to the lower edge of the stamp and left the upper parts of the stamp uninked. Then I positioned it right on top of my base layer and stamped the shadow. The branch seen on the back was only stamped with Morning Frost. I did add details with my pencils to my branch, but I edited them out to keep this tutorial in reasonable length. I drew the missing part that connects the flower to the branch with Copic markers and colored pencils. Then I stamped the sentiment from Wild Hibiscus set with black pigment ink. To get some interest to the background, I splattered some ink with my water brush. I used Morning Frost ink to the splatters. Then I glued the flower in its place with liquid glue and foam tape, and my card was finished. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. I list all the products that I used in my blog, and the link will be at the description below. Please visit Altenew Blog for more inspiration. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon. Bye!